tonight. Could we be headed to another labor dispute at the Co-op Refinery? A Saskatchewan man shares his father's experience treated in a hospital hallway. An outdoor decor that's becoming a popular trend again.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. More than 6 years ago, the Co-op Refinery and their unionized workers were locked in a labor dispute that became extremely tense when replacements were brought in. Well, today the two sides are in the early stages of contract negotiations. And as Wayne Mantiga tells us, with the refinery asking for approval of an on-site temporary work camp, the union feels history could repeat itself.
The proposed work camp would be built on the eastern edge of the refinery property, across the street from the city landfill. It concerns the union representing refinery workers who are in the early stages of contract negotiations.
The union was just disappointed in the application. We think it's early on in the bargaining process and not necessarily warranted. Definitely premature. And we think that's going to have a negative impact on the psychological health and safety of our members.
In a written statement, the refinery said the option to construct a work camp provides the Co-op Refinery complex with flexibility if supplementary resources are required to operate, maintain, or repair the refinery in a variety of circumstances, which could include possible labor disruptions. The refinery needs City Council permission to build the facility. The first step is a city consultation process. The Saskatchewan Federation of Labor is asking the public to weigh in through its website.
Well, I think if you go to our website, our campaigns page on our website, you'll see the link is there, and you just follow the prompts and gets you there to voice your opinion. And you just put in there whether or not you agree that this is a good idea.
The union is fighting the issue on two fronts. It is asking City Council to deny permission for creation of a work camp. And it is asking the provincial government to bring in legislation prohibiting use of replacement workers, rules currently in place in British Columbia, Manitoba, and Quebec. Wayne Mantiga, CTV News, Regina.
It's becoming a common phrase these days in Canadian healthcare, hallway medicine, treating patients in ER hallways because there's no beds available. Stacey Hines spoke to a Saskatchewan man whose father was recently treated that way for 5 days in Saskatoon.
When I arrived to see him, it broke my heart. My dad was in the middle of chaos.
Mark Shylock says last week, his 88-year-old father spent nearly 5 days receiving care in the emergency room hallway at St. Paul's Hospital because no rooms were available.
He stated he felt like he was in storage and in the way.
Shylock says his father had no privacy, with bright lights, constant movement around him, and no call button to reach healthcare workers.
When you would come to visit him, he would have this really bewildered and scared look on his face. After day one, I could tell he hadn't slept.
He says his father, who is in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease, was taken to hospital after an injury. Shylock says the busy, unfamiliar surroundings were especially hard on him.
Bad enough you're in the hospital, but when there's constant change and chaos, I'm sure it was quite terrifying.
NDP leader Carla Beck says hallway healthcare has been an ongoing issue and is calling on the provincial government to find a solution.
You have had healthcare workers, you have had the opposition, you have had professionals, you have had communities come forward and say these are some of the solutions, but you have a government that simply has not been interested in actually doing the hard work of finding solutions.
In a statement, the Saskatchewan Health Authority says Saskatoon hospitals have been experiencing higher than average capacity levels at the start of summer, but those pressures have reduced moving into August. It adds it's taking immediate action to address capacity pressures by expanding acute care capacity and improving flow through Saskatoon hospitals. Meanwhile, Shylock says he wants to see change so no other family has to go through a similar situation. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Saskatoon police have released a photo of a man wanted in connection to vandalism at a Saskatoon synagogue over the weekend. Police say this image was taken from video surveillance recorded on Saturday at about 11:30 outside the synagogue. A man carrying a carton of eggs threw them at the building and at several vehicles in the parking lot. The man has dark hair and a beard and was wearing a dark T-shirt with a ghost and the word boo on it. If you know this man, you are asked to contact Saskatoon Police or Crime Stoppers. While we await the final attendance numbers, the Queen City X, the Regina Police Service, says calls for service at the event were on par with last year. Officers on site responded to 3 assaults, one of them involving bear spray. 9 people arrested for intoxication and 2 thefts. There were 11 consensual altercations leading to no charges, but those individuals were escorted out of the fairgrounds. 7 people needed medical assistance and 60 children were lost, with all of them returned to their caregivers. Connor Chan joins us for our first look at weather, and the odd shower, maybe some sprinkles a little bit in other spots, but overall, not a bad day in southern Saskatchewan.
Yeah, not a bad day, Lee. Some parts of the north kind of got the most of the rainfall. We did see bits of rainfall ourselves here in the morning, the first half, of the morning here in Regina. And in terms of what else we saw was a lot of wind, and that's only going to get a little higher from here on out, though. But at least it was a warmer day today. 25 degrees our daytime high. It was a little bit chillier in the morning with that low of 6 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite radar map, mostly just some faint cloud cover, some scattered cloud cover, and a bit of scattered showers. That's more so kind of in the far north areas around the Prince Albert marks there. So taking a look at some current temperatures, the south is, of course, the warmer parts of mostly the warmest compared to areas up north, still in some of the teens. But I'll have the full details for you in the full forecast coming up later. Lee?
Thank you very much, Connor. Food insecurity continues to be an issue across Canada. A prominent delivery organization have been going out of their way to help food banks across the country to get food on the tables for families. Mick Fable tells us more on Pure Later's latest donation to Regina's food bank.
This white truck sitting outside the Regina Food Bank is the newest addition to the delivery fleet. Thanks to a donation by longtime community partner Pure Later, this retired mail truck has been refurbished and is ready for food delivery.
We are delivering food and meals to our partners every day, so a huge amount of driving, very complicated logistics, and this Pure Later truck is going to make that so much easier for us.
Pure Later is one of Canada's largest courier companies. For over 20 years, they have been helping those in need through their Tackle Hunger program. The vehicle donation is a part of this program, addressing an important issue in Regina.
There's a lot of employees from Pure Later that feel the same way as employees that work for the food bank, and we work, live, and play in Regina, and we like to support the community as much as we can.
The vehicle is roughly 10 years old. It has been cleaned up and repainted. The shelving once used for mail and parcels is still in place, which will come in handy during food deliveries. This is one of many trucks gifted over the years.
We've done 33 in the past few years, and we'd like to continue going. We work with Food Banks Canada. They have an application process to pick a food bank and then have a right fit for a good truck.
The support from Pure Later is critically important to the food bank, a helping hand which goes a long way throughout the year.
The Tackle Hunger program is really such a grassroots, employee-driven activity. I just hope it inspires other businesses and organizations to see the impact that Pure Later is having on the food bank, and maybe inspires them to get involved.
14 vehicles in total have been donated this year across Canada. Mick Fable, CTV News, Regina.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority has expanded online booking for lab appointments to 3 more towns in the Parkland region. Kamsack, Kenora, and Priestville are the latest additions to the SHA's expanding online booking system for various lab work. Online booking has already started in Kamsack and Priestville. Kenora will be added on Thursday. All you need to book is a valid health card and a phone number or email address to receive notifications. Well, it is one of Estevan's greatest exports, coal. Well, no, not Cole Davenport, although he is a pretty good export if you think about it, but COAL, coal. In fact, there was a historic train that moved the energy source from the city to Manitoba. Now, as Sierra de Souza Butts tells us, that train, a source of civic pride, has been restored.
This locomotive loaded coal cars for Brandon, Manitoba in the wintertime.
Kevin Toombs says he remembers when his father used to conduct a locomotive from Estevan to Brandon for 20 years.
He enjoyed the train. He treated it like his baby. He would polish it up all the time, and he really took pride in his work, what he did.
The powered rail vehicle first came to Estevan in 1960 and operated until 1993. Toombs' dad took over after its first driver, John Michel, retired. For generations, Toombs' family has been working in the coal mining industry, saying the train engine brings great sentiment.
It means a lot, you know, got me started in mining. He was always proud that I got hired as a coal miner. You know, he always said I wouldn't be rich being a coal miner, but make an honest living, and that was good enough for me.
In recognition of the city's coal mining heritage, a locomotive has undergone a $50,000 restoration, being sandblasted and repainted, expanding the train's lifespan for another 20 years.
We did a lot of fundraising like during this season here, like in the summer, but all year too we did a couple in the winter as well. We had a lot of community support through donations and some sponsorships.
The project is part of the museum's Heritage Mining display, educating locals and visitors on how many families rely on the industry.
That's our main industry, coal mining and power, oil. So we want that to look nice for future generations for sure. And a lot of the families maybe have a connection to this train, so we want it to be, you know, look nice for them.
The museum is already working on its next attraction that will showcase the rich mining history in Estevan and area. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Estevan.
Well, Wascana Park and Broad Street aren't the only places where you can spot plenty of geese in Regina. You can also spot them on people's front porch. A decoration that started decades ago has become quite the popular trend in Canada. We sent out Erica Matarash on a wild goose chase to find out more.
They are showing up on porches across the city, dressed for the season and turning heads.
80 geese flew in yesterday, landed. I don't know how long they'll be here, but it was exciting to get another shipment. We do have more coming again, though, in the next few weeks.
At TWB Home Decor, these geese are flying off the shelves.
It's just been a really fun trend. People love to come in and check out the geese. A lot of people had never heard of it, so it's fun to tell the story as well.
From summer fits to Halloween costumes, the trend is all about creativity.
I think this is just whimsical and fun, and we can be creative with their outfits and putting them out. And yeah, it's a really cool trend.
While it may feel new, the idea has been around for decades and even made the news back in 2003.
Val Stachician first spotted the ornamental geese while on a trip to eastern Canada. Every second home seemed to have one.
Wayne started it, how many years? 20-some years ago, and now it's caught on.
More than 20 years later, the trend is still spreading.
People walking by will always comment about the geese, what outfit they're wearing. And now that the neighbor has one on her step, it's become quite the conversation of people walking by.
Neighbors say it's a simple way to connect.
We've all kind of got into the groove, and it's kind of fun to watch the new clothes that everybody puts on their goose.
For some, it's even sparked a little bit of an obsession.
My daughter's a bit obsessed with it. She did some research about the origins of the porch goose, thought it was adorable.
And in a connected community, it has become something more.
I think it's just a cute little fun thing that we have with our neighbors, and we're a really close-knit community out here, so it's just a fun little extra that we do in our neighborhood.
A small trend that's making a big impression.
It's got some positive impact on people, and they enjoy it, and that brings me happiness.
Whether they're dressed for the season or just spreading smiles, these porch geese are proving a little whimsy can go a long way. Erica Matarash, CTV News, Regina.
Still ahead, wildfires and smoke are causing huge issues in the province of BC, plus honoring one of Canada's most iconic broadcasters. More than 300 homes have burned in British Columbia as multiple wildfires spread across the landscape. Thousands more properties have been evacuated as officials eye those rising temperatures coming up, as well as lightning in their forecast. That's not good news for them. Andrew Johnson has the latest, where now wildfire smoke is leading to new air quality warnings all across the coast.
The smoke is thickest behind me on Vancouver's North Shore and to the east into the Fraser Valley. There have been new air quality warnings issued today as much more surreal and dangerous scenes play out in the BC interior.
Retired firefighter Jeff Moore was forced to watch from the water as his lakeside Okanagan cabin burned to the ground.
It was a nut show in there. There was bombs going off everywhere, people having a lot of propane, vehicles exploding, all sorts of things. It was just a crazy time.
After trying to first save the home, Moore made his escape in a boat. Watching the flames he spent his career fighting do their worst. The cabin is one of more than 200 homes believed to have been destroyed by the Bradley Creek fire near Vernon. Another belonged to Kevin Statham, who says he barely escaped a 12-meter wall of flame.
We lost everything. It's gone. It was my dad's house. It wasn't just mine. It's bad.
More than 100 buildings have also been destroyed a couple of hundred kilometers to the northwest near Clinton. Around the province, more than 11,000 properties are either evacuated or on alert.
Never seen fuel dryness the way we are seeing it right now. And then when you put 85 to 100 kilometer winds on top of that, it is an explosive and extremely dangerous situation in BC.
Dangerous not only for people living in the affected communities. Yesterday, a helicopter being used to fight one of the more than 100 fires in the province crashed into a lake. Fortunately, the pilot survived and was sent to the hospital with minor injuries. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
So that's the kind of day it's been on this.
On the day he signed off for the last time, Lloyd Robertson joked he was about to be yesterday's news.
We made it, Harvey.
Reaction to his passing, though, has proven his legacy to be a front-page story.
I think people trusted him. I think he was a really special journalist.
I'm Lloyd Robertson. We'll see how the world came to Canada.
His authoritative voice was a landmark of the Canadian broadcast landscape for over 6 decades.
He was a true gentleman, a real newsman. He loved scoops.
The boy from Stratford, Ontario, who worked at the local radio station, eventually knocked on the CBC's door.
I was hired by the CBC. My voice got me through.
We interrupt this program. He said he fully understood his role in 1963 with the Kennedy assassination.
I felt that I was now involved in something that really mattered to people. Television news.
Good evening.
Robertson worked his way to the CBC's flagship news show, The National.
When I did my first news special as a reporter with Lloyd in 1970, he took a lot of time and trouble ensuring that I was comfortable in doing what I was doing.
Robertson is leaving the CBC after 22 years.
He signed on to CTV in 1976. Former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien said today that Robertson had a rare talent, explaining complicated events to Canadians.
Tonight, face-to-face with...
He retired from the evening news in 2011 and proved in 2018 that you can't take the news out of a news anchor.
And I was able to walk away from this.
That's him reporting live on his own car accident.
He had no ego. He was first class. Everyone loved being around him. And he just really made everyone feel special.
But Robertson often said the greatest honor of his life was to chronicle the times, the events that marked Canada and the world for so long.
And that's the kind of day it's been.
Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News.
Now, Lloyd did stop in at CTV Regina several times in his career. The most recent, November 2011, made an appearance on CTV Morning Live at that time and met several members of our staff, including J.C. Garden, following around, a little paparazzi. Former TV producer Don Young, who worked with Robertson during coverage of 2 Olympic game broadcasts and on W5 Lives, calling Robertson a consummate pro.
He was demanding, but he was gentle. He could change your scripts without humiliating you, and that's like a real talent, right?
Robertson's 41 years on a national news desk for CBC, then CTV, the longest tenure of any national network news anchor in North America.
Still ahead, a welcome worthy of a champion. Prince Albert plays host to hometown star Caitlin Willoughby and a Walter Cup.
The countdown to kickoff continues. Thursday on your morning, we'll get Grey Cup champion Wes Cates' thoughts ahead of a pivotal Riders matchup with Ottawa on Friday.
Welcome back. Time to take a look at your full forecast. Nice, gorgeous shot here at Mosaic Stadium. Sun still shining. However, a little bit windy, a little bit blustery, as I like to say. That's kind of like my word of the day every time. It's wind gusts are pretty prominent, as we see 23 degrees currently right now. So it is starting to get a little bit cooler as we get into the evening. Northwest winds coming in at 28 kilometers an hour. A lot of the province, however, did see some heavy winds, as I'll show some numbers in just a moment's time here. But actually, as of right now, as we take a look here, so these were some current wind gusts that are happening as of right now. Some areas throughout the day did get a little bit higher, and tomorrow is also going to be pretty prominent, with some numbers could get over 50 kilometers. So areas like Moose Jaw at 30 kilometers an hour winds, Meadow Lake up north at 43 kilometer an hour winds, Lloydminster also seeing around 35. Also up north, Larange also seeing that 43 kilometer an hour winds, and also in Estevan also some winds there just shy of 40 kilometers an hour. Take a look to the satellite radar map in terms of precipitation. Not a whole lot to talk about as of right now. We did see some rain earlier in the daytime, in the morning, and up north also saw some areas of rain as well, and mostly some scattered cloud cover and some scattered showers in some areas as well. Now take a look to the weather tracker as we look ahead to tomorrow. Could see more rain expected for areas of just north of Prince Albert in that La Loche area. Wynyard also could see some cloud cover. Saskatoon also could see some showers tomorrow, mostly just for some cloud coverage for us here in the Regina area. So as we look ahead a little bit further on, as we get into Thursday evening, things will start to clear up a little bit, which is always a nice sight, but temperatures will still kind of stay how they have been for the last couple of days or so, around just shy of just over 20 degrees or so. And then clear skies expected for Friday. Could see a bit more cloud coverage coming in around Friday night. And of course, the Rider game will have some good temperatures for that as well. A little bit cooler, and more cloud coverage coming in for Saturday. Could see some rain also in the Assiniboia areas, and that system that you see on the far left of your screen could is coming from Alberta, could make its way into the province sometime this weekend. Now looking at overnight temperatures and temperatures for tomorrow, 9 degrees overnight in La Loche with 16 for tomorrow, the high. Could see some rain continuing on in Larange for tomorrow at 18. Cloud cover in Prince Albert at 17 tomorrow with 16 for Lloydminster. Saskatoon, 19 degrees for tomorrow, along with Yorkton, 17 also in North Battleford. Also, though, Yorkton and North Battleford could also see some showers overnight tonight. As we look ahead down south, Maple Creek, 12 degrees overnight with some clear skies expected for most of the southern Saskatchewan tomorrow. 21 also in Swift Current, and then 22 degrees in Moose Jaw with mainly sunny skies. Looking ahead to southeast areas, 23 degrees tomorrow in Assiniboia with one of the warmer areas in the province, in Estevan at 27 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And then for Regina, we'll see 12 degrees overnight, and then the wind gusts could get up a little higher beyond that 30 kilometer an hour. That could just kind of start off the day, and I'll show you what that number is just right here as we get into our 7-day forecast. As you can kind of see, northwest winds coming in as high, could be as high as 55 kilometers an hour. West winds for Friday with 20 23 is the daytime highs. You can kind of see it's a pretty consistent pattern with between 22 and 23 degrees. Some rain expected, some later rain for Sunday, however, as the wind will definitely start to calm down by the weekend. 23 for that high on Saturday, and then we'll see another 23-degree daytime high on the Monday. And then as we get into the tail end of the week, 24 degrees on Tuesday, and then 23 on Wednesday. So, Lee, I took kind of what you said, and the word consistency comes to mind as we see those temperatures there. But yeah, it's going to be a big blustery day tomorrow. So hopefully if you're outside, just, stay cautious.
Yep. Watch that golf swing. Yeah. A lot of slicing. Thanks, Connor. Well, Prince Albert may have just missed out on a WHL championship this year, but a hockey trophy did make its way to the city. As Jasmine Pelche tells us, Caitlin Willoughby is back at her hometown as the guest of honor along with the PWHL's Walter Cup.
We brought our jerseys.
Oh, those look really cool. PWHL champion Caitlin Willoughby brought the Walter Cup home to Prince Albert for a meet and greet with fans at Art Hauser Center.
This could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I wanted to make sure that I brought it back to my community and had some time available for them to, share it with me.
The Montreal Victoire forward helped take home the cup after defeating the Ottawa Charge in the league's first all-Canadian final, and now the trophy is making its rounds as each player gets her day with the cup. Willoughby will return to Montreal next season as she recently signed a 2-year contract with the Victoire.
Oh, so exciting. I couldn't have been more happy to sign back with Montreal. coming back to a championship team, I think it's really special. And with all the expansions that were happening, I think to be landing back at that same team it was my end goal, and I got there, so I'm really happy.
The lineup went out the door, and Willoughby met with fans for 2 full hours.
It's just cool because I had to quit hockey because of a knee injury, and it's just cool to see that she got to win a cup.
The young hockey players in attendance were excited to meet a professional.
That she's a famous hockey player, and the cup is rare to win.
Willoughby told reporters her message for young athletes is to keep having fun because that's what sport is all about. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Coming up, can the Riders overcome more injuries to prevent Ottawa from getting their first win of the season on Friday? Wes Cates gives his opinion on X's and O's.
What's happening in our community. Welcome Kabayan will be happening on August 8th at 11 a.m. at the Regina Performing Arts Center. For more information, you can call 306-533-3455. And the Sask Epilepsy Incorporated Golf Tournament will be happening on August 9th at 1 p.m. at 3100 Kings Road. For all the details, call 306-533-4829. Submit your events to our community by visiting our website at ctvregina.ca and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Well, the Riders just can't seem to escape the injury bug. While injuries are an inherent part of football each week, a key piece is finding themselves on the sideline for extended time. Yet Saskatchewan keeps finding ways to win. Donovan Mace has the latest list of players on the mend.
To get after. Cian Schaefer-Baker is just the latest addition to the Saskatchewan Roughriders' growing list of injuries.
That left leg did not look good on Schaefer-Baker.
Earlier this week, head coach Corey Mace reluctant to address a number of players dealing with injuries.
What's your definition of long?
Six-game season ending?
Yeah, we'll see.
Mace, however, cooling his tone Wednesday as the team gears up for last place Ottawa.
Before the season, if you could just circle it up and we can anticipate that who's going to get hurt when, that'd be awesome, but that's just not how it goes.
It is the receiving core and defensive backs taking the brunt of this string of injuries.
Touchdown, Samuel Emelis.
Along with KSB, Samuel Emelis remains questionable after being pulled off the roster as a game-time decision last week.
This is a really big opportunity.
Giving younger players waiting in the wings a shot to step up.
I've kind of been in a role where, I've had to be like a team player and stuff. Like now I have an opportunity to kind of take another step forward, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to do.
In the secondary, with Roland Milligan Jr. and Tavon Campbell appearing out long-term, the return of Nelson Lacombo.
This is an awesome play by Lacombo.
Can't come at a better time.
We got injuries like that. They're very tough, but, it's next man mentality, and whoever's
coming in to step up has to be ready.
And other positions hope to continue skirting the injury bug spreading around the room.
I mean, we've had guys go down, but yeah, just lucky, and hopefully we can keep it that way. But if not, we know that we trust everyone in the room to be able to get up and play.
That's why you have a full roster, a full locker room full of people, and they prepare themselves as if they're going to have to play. So we've, it's just kind of been what it is since we've been here.
Saskatchewan is expected to reveal the extent of injuries to players like Schaefer Baker Thursday when they release their lineup for Friday's tilt with the Red Blacks. Donovan Reese, CTV News, Regina.
Riders making a roster move, releasing American wide receiver Jalen Johnson. The 26-year-old appeared in 3 games with 9 catches and 117 receiving yards on 15 targets. He also saw some special teams work as a kick returner. And welcome to another edition of X's and O's with Wes Cates. The Riders coming off a pretty big victory in Edmonton against the Elks. They now get set for a rematch against the Red Blacks, who they've beaten Ottawa earlier this year. But, man, a lot of players on the injury list, especially when it comes to receiving core. Kean Schaefer Baker likely going to be out long term. Samuel Emelis still don't know. He missed last week's game. Yeah. What is your concern level with the receiving core, especially considering a lot of them are the Canadians that you need?
Yeah, Lee, kudos to the team for even getting that win with some of the injuries they were having in game and before, with Emelis getting set down right before the game started. So it was interesting that way. I feel like I would hope Sam Emelis can go this week, considering he felt like he could have last week. They just probably held him out precautionary, but maybe work, and just kind of with the Ottawa Red Blacks being a little downtrodden right now, maybe they think maybe we should try to give them another week. But it's tough right now. I mean, AJ's out. Quali Conley had a big game, had some big plays anyway, if you don't want to say it was a big game. So I think people are excited to see more of him. And then, some young guys stepped up. Dale Duncan Busby starting not to be a young guy, but he, had his impact on the game. Deshaun Mims got in, had a big catch. Daniel Weaves is still waiting in the wings, a fan favorite. So I think we should be able to rally the troops and get enough guys out there that are capable to obviously get by this Red Blacks team, who seems to be, they can't find a way to win right now.
As a former running back, they like to run over people and also make nice cuts and good pass people. What'd you think of the hurdle?
Yeah, that was impressive. I'm not going to lie. Quali Conley, that might be the play of the game. I heard it's going around social media, and that's the type of stuff that it's trends and maybe gets him a little more looks, right? I heard John Gruden reposted it and everything, and it was very athletic. I mean, he got spun around by a player grabbing him, but didn't realize he was getting a low defender, so he just kind of lifted the legs, hurdled over him, and kept his balance, got a few more yards, then got tackled later. So it was impressive, showed his athletic prowess, showed why the Riders have him on the roster, and then he was spinning and jumping the rest of the game. I kind of wanted him to calm down a bit on that. Yeah. But I think we have a great athlete in Quali Conley.
Defensively, they did a good job of kind of holding Cody Fajardo down and Rankin as well. But how are you liking this pass rush now with Robertson joining the list of defensive ends along with Evans and Vauters? You think this is a good group now they got? For
sure. Vauters has really impressed me, and I think Robertson, he looks the part. He's like a big, thick guy. 6'3". He's so stocky, he doesn't even look like he's that tall. But just coming in here and off of less than 10 days of being around the team, to have an impact, to get a sack, to really, it looked like every time I watched him on film, it looked like he wasn't staying blocked for long. So he's definitely an athlete that comes with some NFL experience, and he's, obviously knows how to train and work out, and he looked like a menace out there. So I think up front they're solid. Secondary wise, Roland Milligan Jr. is, we don't know what his status is. They've been bouncing some guys around. Tevon Campbell also might be out. So maybe we see more of Bell and some of these young guys. And, sometimes guys just need a little bit to be forced into that situation to really have to step up and make plays. So I'm excited for those young guys in that sense. And, next man up, as they say. It's not like they can delay the game, so they've got to figure out how this roster comes together. But I think the Riders should be okay this week.
Well, they got to make sure the Riders don't fall for this trap game. They beat Ottawa and keep things rolling. We'll see what they do, and we'll get you ready for another game next week on another edition of X's and O's.
X's and O's, brought to you by Campion College at the University of Regina.
Still ahead, an application for a post-treatment home in Yorkton has been rescinded.
All right, welcome back. Time to take a look at your rural forecast. And tomorrow it is going to be also a little bit chillier. As you can see, temperatures in the teens now as we're kind of in that range as that low pressure system's coming into the province. Hence why we're seeing areas with some scattered showers as well as some cooler temperatures. So Watrous, 19 degrees. Melfort at 16 tomorrow. Hudson Bay and Wynyard could see some rain at 17 tomorrow. Kindersley at 19 and Outlook at 19. Also one of the warmer spots in this area. As we look ahead down south, a little bit warmer for parts of the southern half of Saskatchewan. Assiniboia at 23, 23 also in Maple Creek and East End Cypress. Rockglen sitting at 25 as we move a little bit further east here. Carlisle sitting at 24, Pilot Butte at 22, and Kenora could see some showers for tomorrow with that high of 18. It is going to be a fairly windy day tomorrow throughout Saskatchewan. As you can see here in Pearceland, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 16 degrees will be the daytime high tomorrow with mainly sunny skies and a bit of cloud cover throughout the day. Also winds coming in from the northwest. As you can see, 25 to 40 kilometers an hour is what we could expect. Now, of course, as I've talked about throughout most of the day, or most of the show rather, we are going to see wind gusts get very high. We did see wind gusts get very high today, and we can continue to see that trend as we head into tomorrow.
The City of Yorkton has canceled a planned feedback session after an application for a proposed post-treatment addiction recovery center was withdrawn. The city says it's now confirmed the application for the proposed recovery service home on Riverview Road will not be going ahead. A report to council with more details will appear on the August 10th council agenda. The proposal drew significant pushback from the community after the property was bought by Poundmakers Lodge Treatment Centers earlier this year. When it comes to crop damage, farmers have plenty to worry about, from severe weather to those hungry little pests. But researchers at the University of Guelph are hoping to ease at least one concern, creating an app to detect a harmful disease in wheat crops. Jeff Pickle has more.
Just above knee height here. So what you'd want to do is open the app up on your phone, take the picture.
From the field to the lab, researchers at the University of Guelph are working to improve yields.
So you can see here, for every plot, we have to draw a box around each wheat head in the image.
What started as a research project has turned into an app that can help farmers detect Fusarium head blight, one of the most destructive diseases affecting wheat production.
We focus a lot on breeding for resistance to the disease, and one of the ways we have to do that is evaluating plots out in the field and testing if the lines are resistant to the pathogen or not.
The concept is simple, but the technology is not. Take a picture of a wheat field and let AI do the rest.
So we're trying to develop a way that's a lot more accurate at actually determining the degree of infection within each plot.
A helpful and free tool for farmers.
Farmers can also use this to help gauge what they're having in how much infection is out in their field, and it allows them a little bit of leeway so that they can employ some different practices to minimize the impact of the disease.
Also helpful for researchers looking to create more resilient strains of wheat.
We're losing farmland at a relatively rapid rate, so we need to be able to actually increase the production that we have on the farmland that we do already grow on.
McConaughey says so far 250 producers have downloaded the app, and all information used in the app is retained by the farmers and not used in their research.
So this wheat is a little bit too mature. For the app to work, you need to be green.
McConaughey says they are updating the app to make it better for next year, and it will remain free to use.
We benefited a lot in our research from open source models, and we've taken advantage of this a lot in order to actually employ all of this. So we just wanted to continue that trend and give back so people can build on this and use it to actually benefit themselves.
Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Guelph.
Let's go to your farm prices. Canola street price up $2 to $714, 5 cents per ton. The futures price up $6 to $775.70 per ton. Amber durum wheat, $272, 48 cents per ton. Red spring wheat has been knocked down $2.88 to $290.88 per ton. Feed barley, $203.59 per ton. And flax is $630.54 per ton. Those prices courtesy of Bunge and Ice Futures Canada. Stock markets both on the way up. The TSX is up 344 points. The Dow Jones by 263 points. The Canadian dollar went up almost to 0.3 cents to 71.37 cents U.S. Commodities, gold up 16 cents. West Texas Intermediate crude down 55 cents, while Western Canadian Select crude was down big, down $7.09. It's now below $60 mark for a barrel. And gas in Regina, it has been knocked down. It's at $1.68.9 per liter.
Analysts say Shopify had monster growth in its latest quarter. The shares ended the day up over 15% after the release of earnings. Shopify reported about $3.6 billion U.S. in revenue, 34% better year over year. Shopify provides businesses with an online platform and takes a cut of sales. The Ottawa-based firm says customer traffic and orders driven by AI tripled in its latest quarter. Suncor also reported earnings. The oil giant had net earnings of $3.7 billion, more than $1.5 billion better year over year. Higher oil prices resulting from the Middle East conflict helped Suncor to beat estimates. Thomson Reuters reported earnings as well. The Canadian content and technology company says revenue for its latest quarter came in at just under $2 billion U.S. The CEO says the company's focusing on developing AI applications for its legal, accounting, and audit businesses. Still, shares sank, with investors worried that AI will replace, not help, their business. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Coming up tonight after the newscast, we have MasterChef, followed by The Rainmaker at 8 o'clock, The Borderline at 9 o'clock. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to find out. 10 o'clock, Big Bang Theory, E-Talk, and then we'll have local news at 11:30. Before that, national news at 11. All right, anyone who has ever had to work early mornings will be able to relate with this next story.
Just running 465 miles in a matter of days to make all of this happen.
This Memphis morning news anchor says she's grateful for the good side of humanity after her viral moment caught dozing with her eyes closed during a live hit. Viewers posted supportive comments knowing she has 2 kids, including an 8-month-old. That also looks like me when I would be in English class, not paying attention, sleeping.
Yeah, I can follow. University, you're up late, go to school. Yeah, I definitely related to that. But I wonder what the reporter was thinking there.
I know. She might just be like, I wonder what is going on. Or
what is going on? Yeah, because you don't have a monitor, so you can't see she's sleeping. You just hear nothing, and you don't know what's going on. So
that's going to be a great talk when she came back.
Yeah.
But, all right, the Toronto Zoo is showing off one of its newest bundles of joy.
This endangered female pygmy hippo calf was born at the zoo on Sunday. The calf has not been named yet and was born to its 20-year-old mother. Pygmy hippos are from West Africa and listed as endangered, with only about 2,000 to 3,000 believed to remain in the wild. Mom and calf, so small, currently resting in their off-limits enclosure.
Looks like that Canadian house hippos, that size.
That's what I was about to say. Not as small as those, and these are actually real.
Yeah.
I think.
They are.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.